Well, you did, but what though? But Joe and I completed it in only 3 tries. I can see that.
Come on, Donald.
Here we go again.
I told you that you were not going to win this game. I have a much better chance to win.
Stay humble, George. It wasn't a bad first turn.
Exactly. I'm off to a great start.
Literally not progress well with the whole thing.
What are you talking about? Say what you want to say, but Joe does not have anything.
What in the world does Joe have to do anything with your situation?
You guys forget that he's in first place still?
That's true.
What he does impacts what I do.
I'm still in this game, too. That's a good shot, Bill. I have a way better engine than everyone right now is doing. Well, King Donald hasn't even gone yet. Fair enough. Let me do that first before you say that, Bill.
Good shot, what's possible?
Okay, not bad, Donald.
Yes, sir. If you had played like this earlier,
Here we go
you
again.
had a chance to win.
I'll be fine.
If you didn't focus enough during this game,
You can't be serious
that's
right now.
disappointing.
With the constant beat riding, again, we were he's right, blame us for not being fully focused.
Okay,
focus here.
How are you going to approach this kid?
Here's the question.
What the hell? Stop touching. Don't keep your head down. Put it on to the next one.
Real quick, so we once again, I can move it ready to go. So good, so good, so good, so good. No, I bet you got to do this. That's just simple.
No surprise. No such a bad thing.
Let's
I need to put less power in my thumb. Well, after being built, I have to have the proper angle. That's true. You have to put a certain amount of power later, like it depends on the platform.
I 100% agree with that, Don. It seems like it all in the second. But I was going to push you to get this forward. Look at this. Just get off the rock. Just fight for it. Don't get it in.
Where the hell is the ball going now?
You can't be serious. This is all that I'm saying. Something to do with my sense to get this place. We're never going to get first place anyway.
I have no clue what this one is. For real, I guess this is good. Thanks, Bill. You're up next. Yeah, this time I'm not putting much power in the middle. We're all the real best. We're all kidding. I'll just have to put that power and hope that this is what is good.
We'll get that down.
Get it right, I did.
That's what happens. You got to do it. Okay, another guy. I need to do it. Well, you can get yourself back into thinking from the start of our next match. Do it that way. The score was decided 0. This is watch the best of what the hell is that?
That's not nonsense.
That's
Those are the closest to Denison. We're starting to kill. Look at Bill. Just to let you do that game like this. What's the rule is going on right now?
Wait, what do you mean best?
You're not seeing the color.
I was just about to with the flying.
Everything okay? Thank you. Oh my God, thank God. If I didn't make it past that intro, I would have fallen to the stage. I was sent to the front to the back. What the hell is going on? If I had to make it so. Bill probably should have disrespected everything he listened. I also think it is. He's over all this drama. No, I agree that there's no way. I think it's all enough.
This whole was going to get to us, huh?
So you guys are going at it? What is it? Joe's just the main son of the first place. Hopefully that's enough for me. So this is very competitive. Let's go! It's an outstanding another day up there in the line. I'm going to wait for a while.
It's not my fault.
Well, now I have no clue what the story is. I don't know. Does anybody have an idea?
First place, second place, anything can happen, Joe. Watch me.
Okay, never mind. Not what you did there.
Now that was just a call right now. Oh, really? Stuff like this was even more than this sounds like a story super off. What was that about a different story? Don't talk to someone that's bigger than every time it's done.
Okay, if it's looking for a minute to get it more on the way, who the hell is it going to go? Even though you couldn't go to the you still have to be around hey. I guess it's still on that. Longer the truth.
What is the hell that I tell you? You're still around 20. Okay, but I think the both of you guys like I get this.
Yeah, whatever you guys say. And so, the whole thing, I'm tired of hearing this thing. I'm going to finish this whole off first and get first place to do it with that. You guys really did it. Let me focus. What the hell? For real. Good luck with that. We need everything to go your way. With the real understanding. Well, I think I have a good time. With what will? At least I didn't end up like that. I'm doing the things you're working Okay, I'm not so sick. What's up, Bill? I'm starting to feel a little bit sad. Okay, Bill, let me be. I'm going to try something great. I love it. I love it. And so be. At least I'm giving you guys a cushion. I love it. Here's the way you said that. It's kind of hard to respect. Thank you. Well, thank God you missed that, Bill. I'm not trying to be embarrassed.
But being last place is hard to out there. But this is being embarrassing. It's up to you.
Okay, you want to know what I can do? Right to get you. I know what you were going to do, but it probably didn't work the way you wanted.
No, that is what you call it. It's a nice shot. All the rest of it that. For real. Something like a goddamn belong to that. You don't have to lead them. What in the world? You get the rock to the track. Or do it if I leave. This is it. That would be why. What is good? It's just non-stop attack. Guys are over 50. What? What's the same thing is that?
How the hell did you do this? I don't know. Of course, there's a small crevice that will fall into. The same exact thing happened to me, Bill. All right, I need to do it. Good luck. Don't worry. Now I actually have been able to put that to the floor.
Okay, that's enough sleep right for rock.
Before I come, there's more research specifically that gets respected in all games long. I've never listened to it. Focus on your shots. I don't want drama, but it feels like you guys are afraid of that. Bill and I tried to get you guys to stop, but you guys never did. And the top set off. Hold up, let me focus. You guys ever sit down on the front stage? You keep still. I was mad. You told me to throw things. You did it. You get it out of your system, Joe. Okay, let's just finish up this game, Joe. Well, I finished up early, so I'm feeling good about this. Did you forget about me or something? With every shot I said, George, it's pretty easy to forget something. You're not seeing my ball rolling down. Nobody cares if something special happened right now. Jesus Christ, George, you almost fell off the front line. You did. I literally have no clue what you're saying. We were all pretty close to the score. Joe had a decent lead. It's so close to the running. But all I know is I know the one best. Mark is getting tired of his turn to keep riding, George. So we're literally moving the corner down a bit. You have to. Well, that's what my best was. But I was surprised. George, you said there was exact where the drops on it. I swear. It goes in one ear and it goes out the other. Fact. You ever listen to what I do know is that I just live in an old shop. I can't argue with it. I just get that I'm affected with all the obstacles in the middle. Good luck, Bill. Thanks, Bill. Hold on. It was a super satisfying shot. That's for sure. I got to end off the last hole. Finish the ball here, George. I got the horizon. Got to go to the left and left. I was far off. What's up? Joe doesn't want to come. Joe was gone. Joe doesn't want to feel disrespected. He was disrespected. Try to think about what he would have said. The same thing with me. Joel, what's up? I said I want you to tone it down, but you didn't listen. Think about these things so that the next time we play. Okay? We'll keep that in mind then for next time, Bill. We appreciate it. No problem. I'm going to catch you guys later. Peace out and GG. Heading out two boys. GG on all this. Catch you guys in the next one.
Well, how about them apples, eh? The past few days we've been talking about one very particular
potential 8-figure defenseman coach of the New York Islanders. We've made a bunch of videos about Noah Dobson and how, yesterday it was talked about how the Red Wings would be the most likely Noah Dobson trade destination, at least in face-off writer Matt Larkin's opinion. Now, this is expanded upon even more, because earlier today, we had some more updates on Noah Dobson that I thought we needed to dive into here. Because while it's true that maybe one writer believes that Dobson would likely head over to Detroit, we have another team that has entered into the mix. And it's even more significant because it's not a writer going out there and saying, yeah, I think Detroit's a likely destination. It's apparently the player himself. Take a look at this tweet made by Marco Amico. Sources indicate that Noah Dobson's trade preference would be to land in Montreal. But that guarantees nothing. Matthew Dark has no reason to do Dobson any favors in this situation. Now, to go along with this, not only did D'Amico indicate that Dobson would apparently want to go to the Habs, but there was an article published by Kevin Dewey earlier this afternoon that says the Montreal Canadiens have submitted a formal offer for Noah Dobson. This is everything we know about the trade talks with the New York Islanders. This will be linked in the description, but the article goes up there and says essentially the Canadiens are among a handful of teams that have expressed interest and made a formal offer to the New York Islanders to acquire Noah Dobson, according to their info. The St. Louis Blues are also reportedly among the teams interested. However, contrary to what's been circulating in recent hours, a deal is not imminent. The 25-year-old team will be in RFA on July 1st, and all indications are that he has no intention of agreeing to terms with the Islanders on a long-term deal. This is quite noteworthy. I didn't realize that things with Noah Dobson would get so, I don't know if sour is the right word, but at least get to a point where the guy does not want to play with the New York Islanders. That was like the last thing that I would have expected to happen. Dobson was a top-round pick back in 2018, one of the top D19 in that draft class, alongside Rasmus Dahlin, Quinn Hughes, and Evan Bouchard. Adam Boquist was supposed to be there too, but he didn't really pan out. But Dobson became a stud, 70-point caliber guy at his best. Didn't have the best season this recent year, but still he is very talented, very good. And he wants a lot of money. It just didn't seem like the Islanders are a destination that he wants to get that money from. It's worth noting, this article says, that any deal involving Dobson will inevitably come with the promise of a contract extension. New York media recently reported that the right-handed D-man was seeking an 8-year deal that could earn him between $10 and $11 million a year. The Islanders, however, have the luxury of patience, since Dobson's rights will remain theirs even after July 1st. However, the Islanders would be exposed to the possibility that the team could take an offer sheet to Dobson, which could result in New York receiving less compensation, depending on the amount of the deal. The article goes out there and talks about overall cost and how Matthew Dark insisted the Islanders wanted to sign their RFAs. This is what Matthew Dark said about Dobson, Romano, Sabrakov, and Seymour Holmstrom. I've spoken of agents. It's a part of the process. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it happens quickly. With our 4 RFAs, it's been very cordial conversations. We're taking each step at a time. We all have an idea of what the contracts could look like and what we're working on, he told New York media. Now, for Noah Dobson, if it's true that he does want to come to Montreal, this does not guarantee anything. Like, as Marco D'Amico said, Matthew Dark and the Islanders did not owe anything to Dobson. They don't have a responsibility to make the guy happy. They just have a responsibility to do what's best for their own team. And that includes maximizing trade returns. What exactly should the Islanders receive in exchange for Noah Dobson? Well, you would hope to assume that if he then comes back when he leaves out likes them for nothing, after all. Okay, maybe not nothing, but they don't want there to be a big hole on their right side. I'm thinking if the Montreal Canadiens are getting involved here, would a Mike Matheson like assess he has interest? You know, the guy wants to stay in Montreal, but then again, the Habs have enough like him already. Hudson, Google, Jack, not to mention the addition of some of the other guys coming up in the system too. The right needs work though, especially with the departure of David Savard. So if you want to go Alexander Harrington, you want to go David Reinbacher, and let's say you want to go Noah Dobson, I think that's a really good assortment of guys right there. It would certainly be exciting, and it would allow the Canadians to focus more of their top-end talent on guys in this age range. Post-2017 draft, you've got Nick Suzuki 2017, 2018 you've got Noah Dobson, 2019 you've got Newhook, Doc, and Caulfield, 2020 you have Caden Gooley, 2021 you've got Logan Mailloux, so we don't know if he's going to be included in that, but 2022 you've got Slavkovsky, 2023 you have Reinbacher, 2024 you have Denny Dog. A lot of guys in this stage range of young talent, and not to mention Lane Hudson, who's also in that 2022 class alongside a Slav. A lot of good names in prime young age ranges to be important Canadians guys. Dobson just fits. But of course, if it's Noah Dobson getting traded to Montreal, you're not just talking about Matheson, you're probably adding some extra value there. I mean, the easy way to evaluate trades and add value is just to add first-round picks, and everybody's talking about all of the first-round picks in this draft. Doesn't seem like anybody wants to hold on to them, luckily enough. The top 10 teams could be in the mix of trading some of them away, and then you also have some of the other folks that are trying to make things happen too. Middle of the pack first-round teams are all trying to get rid of their firsts as well. It's kind of a free-for-all. Nobody wants their draft picks. It's kind of appropriate given the quality of this year's draft class compared to next year's, for example, but still, it'd be kind of interesting that all these folks just do not seem to want to hold on to them. Would the Islanders even be interested in 16 and 17? I don't know. I mean, they want to be competitive at this stage, right? So they might not even have any interest in keeping up to date with the younger guys. They want to be able to package these assets for more stuff now. At least that's what seems to be the plan there. So if the Habs have already submitted an official trade offer to the New York Islanders, until it gets approved, we might actually have to wait a little bit longer before we figure out what that trade offer actually was. I'm not sure where things are going to go, but for now, I guess we got to just wait and see. Noah Dobson, however, apparently he wants to come to Montreal. The Habs are his number one preference. And with all that in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about New York Islanders and Montreal Canadiens trade talks? How do you feel about Noah Dobson potentially choosing the Montreal Canadiens if he were to have that choice? And do you think the Habs have the assets to pull it off properly and get this guy onto their team? I hope you enjoyed this Mitch Actual signing off. We didn't have time to talk about this earlier, so now is better than never. Let's go over some of the latest in regards to Toronto Maple Leafs forward Mitch Marner. Now it looks like it's still the nice are the likely destinations for him. I don't know, to be the judge. But I wanted to refer to two conversation points. One is what Elliot Friedman said on Sportsnet Radio earlier this morning, and another is what Frank Saravalli ended up going out there and saying in the GFO Rundown show. Let's start out with Friedman because this is a lot more, well, let's just say vanilla. But Elliot went out there and said that Vegas has been the team I predicted for Mitch Marner. I'm going to stick with that until I'm proven wrong. Now, that doesn't necessarily tell us much. It's just, oh, I think he's going to Vegas. No one thinks, whatever, no this, no that. However, I guess you could say the fact that Frank is saying it himself is evidence, expert testimony you could debate, but, that was a pretty change at the blink of an eye. All it takes is one extra phone call, one extra dollar, one extra million. But Mitch Marner heading over to Vegas is also what I've been feeling as well. You can see the video that we made about Marner over the past few weeks. I've been saying the same thing, where it just feels like a Marner thing to take as much take-home pay as he could, go over to a tax-free state, tear it up with Jack Eichel, fellow 2015 draftees, and then just load up the Pacific Division with top-tier talent from that draft class. McDavid, Eichel, Strome, he's in Washington, never mind. Marner, Hannafin, hey, have them all in Vegas. It's like the Florida Panthers having the 1-2-4, having Ekblad, Reinhart, and Sam Bennett from the 2014 class. Vegas can have the 2-4-5 with Eichel, Marner, and Hannafin. That's great. Right. I'm a Vancouver fan, so I love seeing the Vegas Golden Knights do well, don't I? But it's not even just Elliot Friedman going out there and talking about Marner and the Vegas Golden Knights, saying that it's his opinion it's going to go down that way. We also have Frank Saravelli say this on the DFO rundown, that there was speculation over the weekend that Marner and his wife were spotted looking at Vegas houses. Dave Marner has confirmed going there, and Tomas Hertl, who was already linking up the rumors, is on the move to a team that is not the Toronto Maple Leafs. This Leafs fan, Louis Sterling Realander, is not going to be happy. And, yeah, that's understandable. Carolina potentially, some other spots could be available. Hertl was a Vegas Golden Knight for over a short amount of time. Remember when he got traded over to Vegas just over a year ago, and everybody was freaking out because Vegas got another one? Oh man, Vegas did it again. All of the top tier guys that are available in a trade seem to just go to Vegas. Whether you're Pietrangelo, you're Pacioretty, you're Mark Stone, you're Jack Eichel, you're Tomas Hertl. Everybody goes to Vegas somehow. But now, Hertl's making $8 million a year till the end of 2030. So if the Vegas Golden Knights wanted to free up that money, they wanted to free up that roster spot because Hertl can play wing, can also play center too. But if you wanted to get another forward opening for Mitch Marner and free up some money in the process, maybe Hertl's the guy to go. If you send him over to Toronto, then you're just kind of doing Trillivating a solid here. I saw a lot of folks saying things like, oh, if Marner really is going to Vegas, then the last thing he can do to help out the Maple Leafs, the team that he was cheering for, the team that he played for, the hometown hero is supposed to be, maybe an anti-hero is the best way to describe it because of his reputation. If Marner wants to help out a 4-year deal, he signs a 3-year, $12.5 million annual contract, and then he gets a $15 million contract 3 years from now. It's possible, man. Mitch Marner. And actually, again, it's Vegas, no state tax. He gets more pay at the end of the day. Maybe he takes a lower age, much less than what he would have gotten with Anaheim, for example. California state tax is nuts. So Mitch Marner, house shopping in Vegas, reportedly, rumors going out there and speculating that he was. I think Frank Saravelli, if he's getting sources that are stable, is probably worth listening to. If him, his newborn, his family, they're all willing to head over to Sunnyside, Nevada, then I guess it's a great place to live. I mean, Vegas, Nevada, great place to start a family, great place to just chill out, relax. You got a pool in your backyard, houses are a little cheaper than California. We don't need to make the entire California, Nevada thing, but still, Disneyland or the Strip. You can't really go wrong with either of those. And I'm particularly using Anaheim as the main example because everybody's talking about the Ducks too. But Friedman saying that he thinks that Marner's heading over to Vegas, Saravelli saying that Marner is house shopping in Vegas. Just based off of the two, based off of all the discourse, I think it's going to be either Vegas or Anaheim. Does Marner want to play with Eichel, or does he want to play with Leo Carlson? Does Marner want to play with Chris Kreider, or does he want to play with Mark Stone? Vegas is a better team. They have better players, better lineup, etc. But I do wonder if Marner would take those out. Which I don't know if he would do that. If he goes to Anaheim, he will stay down. Absolutely, he will stay down. Especially with the departure of Trevor Zegras. I do kind of wonder, though, if Marner would be a half-a-beat type hockey player. I don't think that he really fits that same mold. Kind of Gaucher, McTavish, Ludwigstrom, Carlson, Kreider, these physical guys that can pretty much put in the work when they need to. Marner hasn't really been that type. So I think there's a lot more of a ballerina-esque element to the way people think about Mitch Marner and his physical assertions in the game. In Vegas, he doesn't need to be the guy. There's like two other guys that are the guy in Vegas. So he doesn't have to have all that spotlight on him. Plus, the team is already a winning team. They can go as far in the playoffs as anybody can. And Marner would just be a huge addition to that. So if the guy wants to get more take-home pay, he wants to get a better shot at winning the cup, he wants to be with better players, he wants to have all this and more, it's got to be Vegas, man. It's got to be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about Mitch Marner potentially signing with the Vegas Golden Knights and the idea that Vegas is the number one destination in the minds of Elliot Friedman? And Greg Sarabelli also reported that Marner was Vegas house shopping too. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Mitch Harris from Marine Island. And live.
San Diego Hotels was proud that 100% Canadian because they would want you to support Canadian business you want to. From even souls to blood cooler, I've spent a lot of time posting about how experienced and knowledge and live divisions, while many bosses retain their ferocity, equal amount of age, and unstoppable bench strength. They'll help the critics to be exceptional. With much less time under my belt, I've far from mastered what lies within the between. This game is at its best when used the many tools here struggle to exploit weaknesses. I am far less experimental. Referring to unfundamental with good faith, intelligence, or innovation. When I first played the DLC, I opted for dual grade stars since it became two with a single game cycle. Even though I couldn't pay for it for grit, just sat around, I decided to do the exact same thing. This only being my second playthrough of Shadow of the Earth Tree, I wanted to give a point of comparison using the same tools. Forgive me for not getting the needs, commenters saying it's OP. I wouldn't stir even a raw soup ladle wouldn't satisfy those measuring their blinding. I'll be pitting mine against every remembrance boss that saves games in DLC, with a few dozen late enemies in the way. And having it cuts to keep this from being a multi-hour epic, I don't think you'll be sorry to see bosses like Kia's Trunks and the valiant Gargle Balls go. In return, I'll be power-stancing this ranking, ordering bosses based on difficulty while assigning college grades for worst to best heroes. This is the Elden Ring bosses ranked from easiest to hardest and worst to best. Number 29, Sir Gideon off here, we all know. Just there before these hands. Catching them with the littlest of flash guards. What a sad state of affairs. I always understand. Then we muddle together into eternity. Instead, it doesn't even get to finish this speech before he's shouting Voldemort prophecies that we scatter under the skeleton in about 10 minutes. A man can, and certainly do. Did I include such a pushover solely setting out experts to the lowest difficulty imaginable? Perhaps. The real reason is I want to gush about his design. One skills gained from knowledge shared with the Shard Bearers, which makes your ascent to Fortune is a brilliant concept. Establishing him as a trustworthy ally in your quest, only to have him standing your way before the finish line is a great character. It's worthy of a beating quality, even with execution steamrolled by end-game stats, even more manipulation from the Shadow Tree's bountiful rhythms. Number 28, the Ancestor Spirit. This fight always goes one of two ways for me. I get there too early and I'm subjected to an endless cycle of healing teleports, making it a slog. Or I get there too late and make Rudolph scoop out in seconds. Because the first option isn't fun, I always end up thinking for the latter. That leaves little to say in terms of difficulty, other than there being enough potential for it to actually hit you that does get the end up hitting. Unlike Seraph here, I'm afraid I can't praise the experience design. The concept of stealing wildlife powers abounded is excellent, but rarely comes into play before it's dead. The teleports only serve to frustrate as a result, with the healing making an overly simple battle feel floating. You can at least appreciate the beauty of it all with extraordinary sacrifice match, but that's only enough to ride into GT. Number 27, Godric the Grafted. If there's any boss that tumbles far below what he deserves, it's God. He's an excellent follow to market as an introductory lord. The music is fire. The concept of grafting the dragon amplified with Luke 76 with plenty of their downtime both between counters and attacks, which create high skill skilling opportunities to lead offense. I love what Godric brings to the table. He's an easy game for quality. The problem is an afterthought these days with no real incentive to say, oh, we've been far past the start time. If you can do little to withstand that game. Number 26, easier mother of figures. There's a good chance some of you have different expectations for this year's ranking. All I can say is what Luke showed me in my two encounters were simple to dodge, even if she supposedly has some that are scary. I've never seen them thanks to this not a ball of figure plus being a belief thing out. At least it's set up with the ruins and the big focus team, enough to earn a passing secret. Mimic the transdimensional sun from the Elder Great Worms is more maddening than the majority of this list. Number 25, Renala, even the Fulton. I can explain this ranking in one phrase. Kings of Ryan Lucari. At least for the first one. The second can be threatening if you tank spells or get overwhelmed by yourself. But with enough experience under your belt, dodge and response is effortless. An example of being exploiting her connoisseur from Forgetful. The mechanics are stellar, with a wide variety of spells, familiars, and melee methods to your serves. It is the best true caster boss from Sauce ever made, yet it's held back by early game balance and pacified first days, enough to suppress her to beat it. Number 24, Godskin Duo. I once would have been ready to rage at the bullshittery that is this obnoxious pair. Carrying a health partner here that knows baseline with no further KOs and killing both at once is such a stream as hidden. Yes, Russian strategy required to best both of your allies summons them was tremendous. And seeing that health bar persist and the boss reappear out of thin air was frustrating. Throw in environmental aggro splitters that are arrowed over quite literally by the nose. No aggro balancing version is one without spirit summons. There got them points to the same air here instant blood. This would have been my choice for one of the smartest bosses. So, how did Grey Godfrey's ghosts stop to do it barely claw above bottom tier punching bags? Maybe them, no, reinforcing treatise there to the boss, and it's lights out for them. Put the first asleep, and it's gods, and it also allows yes, rush both as they awake like striking dummies. Because with their partner snoozing, they can't resummon each other, allowing you to freely slay them back and forth. The only difficulty is in initial sleep. And also, it should be a skill fire during attack animations, but as long as you bring enough sleep resources, you'll have no problem doing the nightmare. This is the perfect example of an assertion that best counter with extensively knowledge. Really bosses is something you so rarely expect to work. I can't blame anyone for not even considering it. With the knowledge widely shared years later, their once impressive battle is now a relaxing lull. I will pretend I don't get a thrill exploiting them after the early days, and that joy is the only thing that's out of that.
It's the test. Here. The GMC will price dimensions on there. Get ready to reveal from 2025 GMC Sierra models today.
Number 23, Mordot Golden Pit. The Gordon of the games was significantly described. Investing Market's final form is required to ascend to Elden Ring's difficulty mountains. This was quite a challenge in my first playthrough. I did not explore well enough, bringing a half-upgraded gold very little oscillate to become a god, especially on this officer provided. This makes his moveset meaningless. Master back into the skips his pants all over the arena, more swiftly disembowelling it to relieve the strikes. Ratchet healing doesn't voice acting, color arena, common art, and well on his kit. It's not a regular feature, it's just a shame it wasn't built for thanks to weather the storm of the completionist explorer anything's happening. Number 22, Oh, the Lord of Blood. How that is blood trouble. Silent, guns blazing, carelessly attacking without watching their HP, and dodge recognition. Oh, still got it. Maybe I was just too aggressive. Let me try again. And the rest is history. If you showed his help enough during attacks, then getting him into counter three, it was possible to stun, post, and kill him without even getting to the counter. I had my physical remedy and shackle locked and loaded, only better acquisitions to be in place. I did notice my alliance a lot of time being perfectly evading his time slashes and sudden recovery, and while I'd love to say that I was calculated, it was trading HP for full aggro was worth it to avoid the second phase. This was significantly harder. And here's the thing. You can't rank what you don't see. I consider this good. I got the same kill before the kills dropped. A bit later in the start. The main third stomp, this one may be far in the way of this disappointment. And ignore most stuff. How the mechanic is really. I am frustrated with my hair and open up the love how well the angles of his trident is really just great. Whether or not it's in certain cases, if I suggest it, it's great. Fluctuate money, stress, and delivery positioning, and roster standing. All of that from the millisecond, stunning arena, other games, best games, and now the gatekeeper to the entire DLC. Most significance in greater than it's just a shame how hard Ryan's well posture gets bothered. Even so, I'm admitting my bias. The extent of his design is a good grade, all below ST. Number 21, Godfrey, first Elder Bullet. Continuing our run on great bosses, visualize layering, scaling. First Elder Bullet is going to be capped in line. The ADAC carries got a flag into a lane between. People would, however, carry an absurd amount of runes in the dozen levels with your skill war. I had more stats than I used to do it by this point. Since I examined the block talisman, power stance, damage band, and line slot services with real gold, wild things. And yeah, like a shooting hand, minimize difficulty, isn't enough to just finish everything sort of outside. I love the double stomps and the slow drop attacks, and between or and wind-ups that makes product and gameplay. Grab, slam from your HP into the dumpster are basic. There's larger collide animations with the power bomb, floor, and stomp. The sheer magnitude of facing the first Hell War and before the finale on my name as Demon. Good to try to avoid it and do less than 18. Number 20, Dragon, Elven Beast. The punctuation mark to the finale, including Godfrey Build, this showdown against Dragon, slated to eliminate Ganondorf. There are the excellent menu food that the maximum ambition is signal the finale is still involved. Dragon's blue skills, golden magic illusion, limited smart and counterfoot, breathtaking experience in a sense to godlike spectacle as Elven used to run. Its outfits and ethereal appearance inspired otherworldly awe that still draws my blood to this day. Holding Elven's back was mobility that far exceeded the players in a gargantuan arena. An issue finally addressed 2 years later in the DLC's biggest upgrade. For it, now fully the game. It was clear many attacks were nullified due to Steve's use, never being intended to have this kind of evasive speed. There's equal amount of attacks to prevent careless plot against weight. Even if that works with enough description for what I'm about to say, DLC scaling is a lot. I would have once ranked this near the top 10 in difficulty, but these days, Radagon and the nerfed Elven Star Lord are much more cute. Minor tension loss, hardly really better quality, and Elven Beast missions make such a easier battle, greater than other difficulty. Number 19, Vigilance and the Above. The Toxic Flower is the kind of little present in the I appreciate in comparison to many of the DLC games space much more methodical. There are lots of good clear openings for the player, plenty of time to dodge tells, all the while she still has enough variety in there to avoid good value. It helps if she's a big target and to hit them. Covers its weakness by hitting from multiple angles through the center of the legs and weapons, later adding a butterfly bomb to tight position. It's nothing overly demanding, which makes it a nice vacation in an otherwise very sweaty DLC. Enjoyable experience worthy of 18. Number 18, Shadows Avatar. The true best part of the DLC is the Shadow subplot. It's an immaculate spectacle of glitches, flora, and its tinted sound, meshed well by explosive boon effects. Like Romeo, the Avatar attacks with heavy damage, no textbook fix. Reminiscent of Dark Fear, all attacks have clever ways to dodge, then smack away at the target equally for maximum uptime. Or you can smack the spot for less, and still get a flat damage. This is balanced by its three faces, which require you to approach. You gain weight to full health and accumulate damage each time. The full total charges that follow never fail to make much. The diverse light layer feels amazing, like the light is cracking out in the shadows. Maybe this is a hot take, but in spite of its brittle HP, Balance move setting is in comparison to some of the DLC Smash juggernauts. I adore this fight with one of Elden Ring's best. Giving it the rare SS tier, it only has 2 bosses per day with 6. Number 17, Pastel, Natural Lord of the Void. Spectacular is fun. Mitigate 10 damage to get it ahead, not capable of teleport for better uptime, heal through mistakes in the 10 res gas, dodging is a key challenging outside, hard AVs, and have a harder time consistently hitting the head as the limits around. Pastel is an invention. My only gripe is that it doesn't feel fun to fight, but not to get into detail. Number 16, Lich Dragon Force Sense. Forgive me for the terrible juvenile humor, but this boss Force sucks. It is a shit show of lighting effects while I'm hugging its non-existent dog, listlessly ankle biting until it finally throws. Don't even get me started on the DLC variant in the water. If it wasn't an electric-type Pokemon, I'd throw a toaster in the puddle and be done with it. No matter how many times I try to handle this battle head-on, I always end up doing the things appropriate to end the quest involved longest hug animation in gaming history. Let's take a hand in a minute to work on this. It's so delicate. The OG say Fort Sax is the best movement. The problem is I spend so much time in its crotch, I rarely see it with them. Difficulty is tank and spam like most bosses thus far. The tank is merely getting more dangerous as we progress. S for quality and appropriate, F for Fort Sax. Number 15, Divine Beast, Dancing Line. This parade float, on the other hand, uses its effects to create diverse visual eye candy that well illustrates the boss's dramatic mentalities. While the elemental cycling is its biggest strength, I also enjoy the chaotic rhythm that it's swirling around with the melees. I also appreciate Guardian for things like the Wrap, with a double jaws. The punishment for getting Wrap is so unique as well. Feelings to recover also with the boss. Additionally, they make decisions feels prepared for further mistakes, or do you resist to prevent them from the line? For that reason, it's easily answered by you. You don't allow to go no carrying, but blind in a game and googly eyes, it's a hard side. As for the difficulty, I didn't struggle much during the playthrough, especially in my second, where you get 17 fragments without fighting a single boss, which was pretty crazy. Coming back at 20 scale allows you to, sorry for the record, I expect. Still, I was aware of that option, so the bottom line remains a little bit. Number 14, Ravana, like the lion, Ravana could not mistake the blessedness. You make the argument you shouldn't have that many with a fighter, but if it only required defeating Gaius, Rowena, and Mesmer, why not go for it? Regardless of your talents, she's always been staggerable with good aggression. For lacking abilities like Lion's Claw, it's the main combos, and Overarm and Shield. If you do, when she gets an animation lock, she loves the sidestep encounter. There's certainly skill involved in finding the right time to attack her. I'd like to try a deck scope in the future where you attacks in between ranks. With strength, stagger, and bleed, I didn't even see phase 2. That makes his damage is overkill regardless of counting blessings. Imagine if you counter this slicing 50 plus HP investment like butter. If you want blue attack at least, and if you think there's terrifying behavior of the animation to look like advance. And the high-low solars are the observation tricks with especially the legs. There is only one sort of another design. No to land a solid for them. But I argue her attack uptime is really too. The point is open to see the out of the lessons. The stone curve is scaling low. Number 13, Ride Card, Lord of Classroom. Rides are a badass. The Great Serpent, and the Lord working with Vidro and an unforgettable experience I will always forget. Microsoft tried iterations of this special weapon fight with located in Storm is a different effect. The Serpent Killer is managed with this design, allowing it into a new set with lights, jump attacks, weapon arts, the works. It never fails to amaze me how intuitive it feels to use weapons. Its considerable range allowed them to develop a fight ranging around a single combat style, leading to near perfection. The Serpent has a really cool that Reinhardt expands upon acid. Its greatest pressure comes from attacking Flame Skull, leading both the boss and into a suit of Dragon. Knowledge of stagger timings can help manipulate your attacks, well-timed jumps and positioning can increase offensive opportunities, and the stall range feels like you're outrunning hell itself. I've had considerable practice delivering Reinhardt runs with one shot here, so that helps diminish his difficulty greatly when I have a lot more HP. That and upgrading the skill of the game's free-flowing somber stones to speed up the victory. I hope that you enjoy it together. As you learn this is an SS2 battle category with an alternate. Number 12, Loretta, to the house. These Sentinel archetype is notable enough by countless working included. From my tradition of slaying the base Sentinel when I awake, the lake dwells thunderous guardian, down into the depths of the house tree where I waits. Many Sentinels in the land between solidify a vivid baseline for the game. They are the first boss I would argue. Scaling, sheer force, such as Corvetto, literally dictated expected to bring them in slump. This is the most complicated markets. Look, the fitting having strong tracking and fast knowledge for delivery speed. They appreciate how tight it is on the effective on cigar, allowing it to get outward from the attention works well under certain patterns. Three Sentinel's presence throughout your turn is a welcome one, worthy of its Number 11, Fireton. I've come a long way from my initial days of going back to this video. The visual design and scale is excellent. Having images of frames set aside takes an camera from a distance, make things somewhat stable to manage so that is truly enormous. And you can see everything in the right frames. The way that people move with the persistence of those frames. What makes the play frustrating is how often you yell and hold to the left. They can all frame things, but if you make it constantly dash out flawlessly, only for them to slow speed out of the helper. The second thing that makes this so much worse, bringing easy accessing to hitboxes versus flighty risks. And there are so many absurd fire attacks in this phase that amount to run away or not. It's a slog to deal with, especially when you get bad RNG changes attached back to back, dwindling healing resources, or daring to suggest there is a lot of good, and even if it doesn't work perfectly, I admire the efforts of upscale and counters proportions. The visual scary mixed experience ends of its follow sincere, the good mark of this uninformed and broken before you skill. Those experience make it inside target to the house of the family, those loaded with the church, watch the way the dragon fits, chant, the warns, the direction it has built. And later, when it is faked out of reality, there are many ways to prepare for what's coming, while still leaning into the sun. Whereas I find more assassination is standing and playing to avoid the city section legendary space apart, allowing the well-timed offense to be started. As the city section gets teleporting, you must pay attention to both the sound and the direction of the street. Only needs to arrange with a variety of slants and slashes. You have to know the time of aging to go state by state. I'm still blown away how fluid this all feels with this style of runner. High speed, damage, instability, and from a battle's servicing, and simply flash stopping. Rapid chaos. It all feels effective, but I'm fun, landing the dragon lord safely into estimate. Number 9, our third Radon. Riding into battle against Radon is a form of ready the Ranger of the festival, tragedy, chaos, and one can ask, what goes on in the entire desert, the sight of the Arab chasing is out of the both hilarious and electrifying. May not compare to his prime, but Radon's husk is no slouch. His range, damage output, good attack, brutal gravity magic pose far more than threatening than his body. He uses signs against him with certain attacks, swiftly rounded behind the movie snack until he uses his sword and gravity. This sequences strictly, allowing his consistent attacks to generate. Skyrim, after he goes himself for upgrades, you can end his magic with if he gets done. Attacks are certainly more explosive. None more of his power can set the favor for America to lead. I never thought it was that hard to dodge, but once I played it was through. Frankly, what makes the dodge more manageable is the quarterback. Why didn't fall harder than the last around if he was hard to lead? No matter how I take it on, he only takes the easy to wakes up. Chaining it up together in a short time still leads to the back of their neck, which is the true difficult barrier to passing. I'm confident I can still play right now with one shot and boss outside the combat. Radon is the mark of that no longer being prepared. It only gets more difficult from now. As for the warrior holding back the stars themselves, the Ranger in his battle, the option to turn it into a great boss with the rest of the legion foe, the excellent design, and the man of him, and a brilliant setup to it all, where's the Radon style? Number 8, Easter or the Friendly Front. The Nintendo style is encapsulated by a big boss. It's gotta be the magic. Even when you're running on pure tanks, it attacks without ends and often with frenzied flames bursting at the seams.
This all creates very oddly paced attacks with very hard to read delays and spins. He goes from deceptively slow to blistering speed in seconds with varying acceleration. I love how it feels as if the madness is boiling out of control. The comparison to myself is less that I'm insane and wielding my spine as a greatsword, more so I love how frenetic and at times nonsensical his offense feels. Unga Bunga is my FromSoft love language. Let's not forget the terrifying interlude through a forest littered with rotted vermin and invincible wardens. Finally entering the mansion, you're given fair warning to turn back, lest you be subject to its frenzy. I previously thought his praise attack density was too much, but I've grown to realize there is fair time to feel it and put up your own dukes if you're purposeful about seizing it. The whole dance feels less like a waltz and more like tap dancing on landmines, and I love every S tier second. Number 7, Malekith the Black Blade. Should have the surname Glass Cannon. Malekith hits like high-powered artillery with what feels like the smallest HP pool in the endgame. As the ranking indicates, this only serves to keep him balanced, not diminish his difficulty.
At the Home Depot, we make the doing easier. So no matter what projects you're tackling this season, you can take them all from do to done. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The Beast Flare-Human phase is reasonable to deal with. Lots of attacks are jumpable, which is particularly helpful thanks to his flinch lead, making many attacks whiff. This is especially true thanks to his predisposition to backstep with many attacks, removing your window to counter. This carries over into the hypercharged second phase, where his attack point is far ahead of the actual hitbox. This requires you to learn his patterns and where recovery from his animations have him land. Careful positioning and evasion earns you the right to get a hit in. In between, you'll likely be subjected to a half-dozen assaults with him leaping airborne, firing flame slices, zipping across with a spin to win, backflipping with a judgment cut, or doing a fiery AoE. There are slight variations in many attacks, making that precise positioning all the more difficult. That's on top of many of his attacks inflicting HP burn, depleting your precious max reserves, forcing you to match his Glass Cannon nature. Hitting Malekith down is a severe challenge. One that warrants him ranking this highly, even though it only takes a few attacks to win. That pursuit is one of the game's most exhilarating in all the right ways, earning it the top spot in S tier. Number 6, Commander Gaius. Left Shadow of the Air Trees, rain on crushing difficulty commence. Gaius was the first boss I fought this time around for his precious 5 Shadow fragments. Taking him on with 17 was helpful. You know what wasn't? Using a bunch of revered ash to buff Thorin. My donkey gets skewered in seconds by Gaius and his trusty Warhawk. Okay, sure, let's fight him on the ground then like Tree Sentinel, using angles and understanding of his moves to gain an advantage. Fat chance. He likes to ride circles around you rather than recover from attacks, preferring jousts that keep him on the move. The resulting camera work is nauseating, making evasion and landing vertical hits more troublesome than it might appear. And then gravity attacks with massive hitboxes. If melee hits the rear backward out of your reach like Malekith, without the Glass Cannon HP to compensate, and it allowed guys to exploit my bad habits like excessive greed and dodging backward instead of in. The lesson for Gaius that will ring true in a lot of the upcoming ranks is in trying to ballerina around his offense with perfect evasion and then finding precise attack windows was the fool's errand. It was far more fruitful to push my hyper armor advantage with Lion's Claw and trade hits where I could, like his charge with a disgusting active hitbox that I couldn't dodge. I didn't bother to try. Take the hit with a gut splunge. I may as well shave some HP off of him if I'm gonna get walled. When it boils down to it, Gaius feels like a way worse Tree Sentinel, with janky movement and hitboxes that make this D-tier bout more frustrating than fun. Number 5, Mesmer the Impaler. This is where I may disappoint some of you. In my eyes, Mesmer is not some new standard by which quality should be defined. I know he's bad, I think he's good, but at the same, you have this point in our A counties. I love voice acting presentation and an impressive move set that adds for the player to throw and to find windows of opportunity. I personally do not enjoy that money. Since the script of flames obscure tell the way that I found things. My combo is very delayed, didn't have the tool to road, and I was particularly whelmed by the second phase. With certain hitboxes that movement was excessive in the battle. For every attack that feels this way, it's just meant with not willing to clearly illustrated from the get-go. The rhythm is something you can learn as the natural as the power. Admittedly, the state is a new set piece, and it is overwhelming. I'll be honest, this is one of those bosses I feel really pressured to play blindly because I know how well loved he is. Maybe if I had the marketing materials beforehand to his presence, I would have been more invested, but I went completely dark on DLC trailers. Watching them in hindsight, it's really baffling these weren't included in the game in some way. My second playthrough didn't result in much better success here. I won by plowing through his moves that I was mediocre at dodging at, and won in a way that felt undeserved. Someday I would love to go back and really learn his moveset beat by beat to see if my impressions improve. At the very least, I do commend his difficulty, and hope what praise I did offer for this A-tier encounter came through. Number 4, Utrecht Knight. While my lukewarm reception from Mesmer is going to be unpopular, I hope we can all agree that Utrecht Knight is extra strength booty cheeks. If there's a single word this experience elicits, it's annoying. Whether it's ramming Frostbite up my ass, spamming its millennia-long Wombo combo, forcing me out to hop over cheeky Frost Flames, or doing drive-bys that give no reasonable opportunity to counter, this entire experience puts him on the defensive 99% of the time. It's boring, inflates the difficulty margin well beyond the limits of reason, and lacks the balance other glass cannon designs like Malekith have. It is handily my choice for the worst boss in the game, one of only 2 Fs in the entire roster. Number 3, Veil the Dread. For as much as Utrecht grinds my gears, there is perhaps no boss in the game that I agonize over more than Veil. He is so close to rivaling Dark Eater Mahir for the series' greatest dragonfly, standing out well in a game full of them. He rivals the greatest spectacle in a game full of phenomenal set pieces. The ascent of the beat builds up and climax to perfection. His moveset is a great mixture of range, melee, gap closers, and backsteps. The basic timing is tight yet fair. Damage output requirements are very high in a satisfying way. Turning openings feels rewarding. Mostly. The first issue is Veil lacks a recovery balance the gear shines so brightly for. If you left his head hanging for a hair longer each time, good positioning will be far more satisfying, capitalizing on your skill. Instead, Veil often animation cancels his recovery into another attack, which removes your turn. An example of this is the lethal way into Fire Breath.
Nobody likes to be told what to do, except when someone says, "Hey, eat a Reese's!"
This option necessitates you waiting until you're absolutely sure the combo is done, and if he does, so often rear his head backward at the start of a long delayed tell for what's coming next. While Egon's short arc and voice acting are extra in all the right ways, the fear being intended to summon him was meant to circumvent this issue. But when you do, this battle becomes a striking gun, veering into unsatisfying territory for the opposite reason, being too easy to hit. These issues, in addition to a wonky camera, turn solo battles into more of a crotch-hugging experience like Vorticex, which removes much of the spectacle. It also takes longer to kill this way, which is a slog, but the difficulty difference is night and day. When I was going for the head, I had half a mind to rank him even higher. When I relented and went for the legs and tail, it only took me 2 attempts to win, so I opted for a difficulty high ground. Veil's attacks are fearsome, boasts some of the best range in the game, his health pool is massive, and his ability to exploit what are usually advantageous windows for you is brutal. I still feel Veil is worthy of A-tier recognition. I just wish he was ranged ever so slightly to make Skull Bashing more viable solo. Number 2, Melania, Blade of Piccolo. The juggernaut of the base game has been dethroned by my men. That makes her no less fearsome. From the opening words, she is never known defeat, you'll feel the chilling confidence in every strike you take. These are attacks that have some of my favorite tells of any FromSoft boss. From the way she whirls around the arena, quick steps, backdashes, leaps, and slides from blade with sparks, there are so many subtle ways to detect Melania's next move. The on and off nature of her aggression gives peaks and valleys of intensity and never lets you find a comfortable rhythm. And when you knock a third of her HP down, all bets are off with Waterfowl Dance. This move remains as absurd as ever. Half arena tracking with the first flurry, then straight on into 180 AoE burst to end the remaining 2. The only thing that's changed is me. I'm sure many of you can never decide if it was balanced or if it treaded too close to unfair. And I think I've finally reached my conclusion. Strictly as a learning experience, its animation is too overwhelming to digest and diagnose. It leads to frustration initially, but once you understand its strengths and weaknesses, it's another move to best like anything else. The power is in your hands to do so, and damn if I don't find seizing it satisfying. The other predominant complaint of Melania is her lifesteal. However, I've found it increasingly insignificant as my performance has improved, to the point that I barely notice it these days. With those barriers to greatness knocked away, Mourinho's tremendous design shines through. Excellent combat mechanics, fair if unpredictable reprieve, stellar voice acting, a beautiful and haunting transformation, a second phase that builds upon the first, and has enough spice to the sequence. Experience that well years before the right not only as your boss design, we have an argument that ranges from higher expectations. Good space only, triple excellent opinion. I know I wish I could get the video. Fortunately, we need to make a better and the number one hard boss, Melvin Ray, not as console design. I've tipped my hand already, so I'm not going to sugarcoat. I don't like Promise console design. The first phase is a novel reimagining of a fan favorite. That phase includes moments, and the fun section is called back to the original design, get a few of the body of the movie habits. That is the extent of my purpose. It's the only thing that saves it from that. And its staying is equally short. In spite of the nurse, phase 2 remains a clusterfuck of holy flashbacks that isn't functioning in the slightest. This isolate is matched by constant barrages of mid-century feels in the costumes of Mexico, who either learn to dodge perfectly again and again in a pace no other boss in the game matches with. It's sensory overload or rock. Outraging isn't a wise option. Thanks to these attacks, I think PJPs and wolf edges compared with backstage. I did my best to dodge the bar, as I'm well aware of the there's a weakness in mine. I have to find holes in the holes. Speeding myself away, gaining distance to recover in the air. Probably for the same strategy as my first one. No stagger in phase 1, exploit immediate popular in phase 2. Continue to stagger the steps I should. I was far from good at this. Sometimes my phase 1 went too well. Other times my mind drifted to phase 2. Undertaking for my lapse in focus with not enough stagger growth at all. Even when I executed the start of this plan perfectly, only on with an impressive phase 2 with the night. I am sure that there's going to be cries for you to get good, and it's invalid if I take you back. I think you are. Well, I give it a 13 attempts to win against 4. For my second time facing it, don't think 13 attempts too bad. I'm sure it'll be less if I ever face it again, but I honestly don't think I'm going to bother. Not because I fear it, but because I loathe the experience. I find no joy in brute forcing my way to a win, feeling as if I've learned nothing. I got lucky with art. I'm like blind to the win. Is it difficult? Yes, more so than any other Elden Ring boss. Is it fun to overcome that difficulty? Promise console of the definition, in rare cases in the series, and my answer is no. It doesn't help that the magic we have to live on and open books. You're reliable.
Anybody does anything crazy, you're fine. Yeah, I'm leaving tonight. He's coming on the red light. He's going to shit on the food. Like, I'm waiting for him to see us run in front of the house and yell at us about that.
Doug, Taylor's still on? No. Can't be bothered? No. No, can't be bothered. Wow. Anyway, so send me through the lines. Who's running what station?
Well, we usually don't work at the station.
You don't work for station, do you? Oh, shit, get work.
Every Saturday night, Foster's will manage the town. And as a result, it's the one night that the Gallagher Food Free is filled with customers.
So, Amber's ready, we can take table one. Doug, who talks to who? Who communicates that? Anybody? Doug, who communicates that? I'm not hearing anything. When things are ready, you just put them away. Oh, so there's no timing. When that's ready, like I said, it's go ahead. Chicken Alfredo, chicken gallery, tell me. Just drop that on the floor. Just drop that on the floor. Yeah. It's not cooking. Just drop it on the floor. Lisa, I told you, Lisa, I'm incredible. You just dropped the chicken on the floor. I've got it back in the pan. This one here. Come on, guys.
Yeah, wait a minute. He dropped it on the floor. He cooked it. What would you do?
I'm all the way over here or what?
No, that's crazy.
Start that again or not? What? Can you start that again?
Yeah.
It's there. This is not. That's the one that dropped on the floor. Okay. Good enough. I'm not here to make you look stupid. Oh, wait, someone check the service. Smack the chicken and drop on the floor. You can't see it. You guys look like a bunch of fucking idiots.
That's them taking on the tower. Then I'll have the chicken ranch shrimp, please.
Finally, it's official recommended.
What's happening, Frank? Take off the bananas and vegetables or pasta. Any pasta, man.
We would serve creating with the salad.
Yeah, people get it all the time. Because they like to take the pasta home.
Let's go for some spaghetti bolognese.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Wow. 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Is it?
Right here. Table 10 appetizers, please.
I'm very excited to talk about what I can tell you. I feel that there will be no balls in what I have to do.
There you go. That's for now.
Oh my God.
For the extra reviews, print badges, and notified in Canada, the answer is on the trigger.
Chef manager's advertising was coming out. You can see his face like, what is this again? And he's almost over dead.
That's definitely not how they want to It's ghastly. It's stone cold and solid.
Tell me, man. How did fair? What have you got in the bag? What is that?
Eggplant parmesan.
Oh, lovely. When we have this for lunch tomorrow? You're not coming back tomorrow?
No, no.
You've got dinner there.
I didn't feel it weekend.
Thank you. I like your lipstick. Like spending time in the golden gel. Exactly.
Kevin, bring it out.
Wow. the shrimp. Very good. No, something with that. Look like chicken. Tastes like shrimp. Or shades. Good. I like the smoke. I've never had shrimp that hard. Why do you stick the shrimp inside of chicken? It's one of its creations, I guess. Okay. Very good. I admit it. Thank you. See? The shrimp was too hard. One hard like a bullet. Okay. Why would you put shrimp inside of a chicken? I don't get it. Alright? When I first came back, I was disgusted, pissed off. I wanted to prove them wrong. I wanted to show them my cooking skills, are up to par. That's the bolognese? Thank you. That's the sandwich. Thank you. Okay? What's the points? Dry. Absolutely idiots. Pretty solid. Dry. That's very dry. Okay. Would you mind? Would you like coffee? No. Okay. Thank you. This salmon was too dry. They don't want another piece. They said this was brutal. There you go. Want to taste? Go it up? When I came back, I was just too pissed off to even taste it. I was furious at Chef Ramsay saying that my food was shit. Personally, I feel that it's the wrongest meeting at this point. Not fucking furious. I'm furious. No, you're something about the shred. As the first orders come into the kitchen, okay, let's go. Instant Cafe's complimentary salads get sent out to the diners. Until festivals come to every meal.
It's not like we're doing like similar to this or somewhere. It is makes you work on what?
What the fuck is that in my bean glass?
Just salad.
Salad? Yes. What's the salad in my bean glass? Is there a doctor in the house? How many glasses?
There's tricks in the corner there that we take.
Oh my god, you are kidding me. Jesus Christ. Who's doing all this? I'll tell the owner.
It's all here in this. It doesn't mean that it's really bad because he's never seen something like this before.
Oh, this the salad for both. Okay? Even though he was just planning on observing, Chef Ramsay can't control himself and institutes his first change. The fresh salad dressed to order and in the bowl. Well done. Thank you. But Dr. Morris, make sure that if it's wrong, is still the woman in charge. Micromanaging whenever and wherever possible.
Is that wrong? It's like
This is not amazing. It's not amazing.
you don't like food? Okay. Then you don't like it. You said that the 12 order. But no, I don't like it. Dr. Morris would really like to hear a lot of complaints about the food. She does what she knows and wants to do.
What's that?
Chicken breast.
Yes. What was that cooked? That was cooked yesterday. Why? Don't.
Yes.
I can't believe you're doing this. That was cooked last night. It looks like it's all makes me feel old about it, I guess. That the points that I've been making for months are the points that he's making now. You ever told that home? Don't think of that.
Yeah, I just here.
Okay. It's glad to see I'm already underwater.
And the soup.
I thought grandmother just fixed grandmother's living, so.
So we're on that authority though, because I've been using Grammarly's AI for years. Now, Johnny, he's really getting me very upset. Suppose I punch him out. Because, let me finish.
He's right.
Let me finish, Johnny. All he did, Johnny, please be quiet. First of all, he wants us to cook everything fresh.
Why can't you do that? Yes, you can.
Jamaican food cannot be cooked fresh every day. Do you understand that?
Mom, we'll finish this later. What's that? Oh my god, you're kidding me. That's everywhere. Christ almighty. Oh, please. What's that in the microwave?
Right. Or they do. When I first worked here, I was like, oh no, Billy, Dad, come on.
What's the addiction to bags? Is it a medical thing like donating blood in bags? Everything you've got is like in bags.
Where do you want to put it in?
If you're not going to tell me that rice stays better in a bag inside the steamer, madam, I'm really sorry, but you've lost the plot.
I don't like to disrespect me.
So if you can tell me where you think I've disrespected you,
You're talking about how it's crazy upstairs.
I'll tell you why. The practices and how you're running a restaurant is tagged with stupidity. I didn't say that you are demented. Didn't say anything like that at all.
No. Specifically saying like this. That's what you said to me.
Right.
Now, let me finish. If I say that to you, how would you feel?
I'm not a delicate David Flowers going to take everything you say personally. Let me tell you something. The practices are ludicrous. You want me to tell you something? No answer. Just feel that. It's frozen.
It could be, well,
I'm going to argue.
it should not be frozen.
Well, it is frozen.
No.
Don't tell me. Okay. Another shot. No, I'm going to finish my sentence. Frozen, solid, disgusting, overcooked chicken. You're resisting it. That's fine.
No, I'm trying to say it should not be frozen. They did yesterday.
Understand?
Okay.
But I'm told you it is. Right now, you're running a hospital kitchen full of bags. Fuck that. I'm out of there.
You see, I'm crazy. But some things you say about Jamaican food, I disagree with you. But I'm not crazy.
I think the doctor. I think it was good. I thought it was very good. So, what do you recommend for us? Yeah, everything else. That's just our regular song. The thing is that it's a way. It's just the best one I've ever been for. The best one we have.
Franchise continue.
Okay.